In this video, I'm gonna go over my personal sales process. I know there are a lot of sales coaches out there. I'm not trying to compete with a sales coach in construction industry, especially not in the roofing industry. I had my personal sales coach when I had my roofing company, Stormgroup Roofing. That was Rodney Webb. I learned a lot from Rodney Webb. But if I'm honest with you, I have my personal sales process. Many people have asked me to teach them to sell. I cannot teach you how to sell. I can show you and explain my sales process. I have 7 steps sales process. I did not even know that I have a 7-step sales process until I decided to prepare for this video because it comes organically to me. I finally decided to document it, write it all down, and share it with the internet. Number 1 in my sales process is setting up price perception by building yourself as a brand expert online and offline. I love branding. For me, branding is huge. The reason is because if you study how people make decisions these days, most of the decisions made even before you show up. People love online search. People love asking for referrals. And if someone asks for a referral and your name came up, most likely you're gonna get a job unless you screw up later. So my job is to make sure I establish myself as an expert in any field I am. Right now, it could be video production as a YouTuber. I want to make sure that everybody knows that I do good quality videos. If they want to hire me to make a video for them, I'll give them a price, but my work speaks for itself. My reputation speaks for itself. In this field, I'm already an expert, so I can sell my product. If I run a roofing company or gutter company, any trade, it does not matter. If you establish yourself as an expert and people clearly see that you're the expert, half of the job is already done. I'll give you one example. About 10 years ago, 2014, 2015, I had this gentleman working in my neighborhood. At that time, I had a townhome that I owned and we needed gutter work. So this guy is working on the gutters and the units down the street. So I came to him and I asked him, hey man, do you do gutters? Do you do estimates? Do you work for yourself? Is it your business? You work for the company? Immediately, he have told me that he runs his own business and he does quality work like you would expect from any sub, right? At that time, the going rate for the gutter work was about $6, $7 a foot. One of the biggest companies in town, Seller Roofing, $50 million company, that's what they would charge, $6, $7. Going rate for subcontractors were about $4.50, maybe $5, but $4 to $5 range. So put 20-25% markup and you would get rate how much companies were charging. So I asked him, how much do you charge? He said $9 a foot, which was way above the going rate for even branded company. So this guy here does not have wrapped vehicle, doesn't have a website. I asked him for his business card. He said he does not have a business card yet, but he is the most expensive person that I know who installs gutters. I pay my subs $4.50 at the time. So he's doubled the price. And I asked him, why so expensive? He said, I do good quality work. So this is my example. So if you do good quality work, branding is expected from you. Why would anyone overpay based on your word? Now, if someone who is very branded, have offices, have vehicle reps all over the town, have radio commercials, TV commercials, are more than competition, people will assume that they're a bigger company, you're safe to hire them, and they don't mind pay a little bit extra for the branding to hire established company. But if you don't have all of that, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're probably not going to be getting top price unless you're doing something that I don't know. So for me, branding is a must. It's a part of the sales process. Number 2 on my sales process is first impression and communication. When I arrive at a job, I always want to look professional, dress professional, work professional, talk professional. I want to have professional vehicle. I want to have professional presentation. You cannot make first impression twice. If they found you online, if it's a referral, if they seen you somewhere, maybe your vehicle, and they trusted that brand enough to give you a call, you owe them your communication, you owe them fast response time, and please don't ruin the sale. What I found in my business career that a lot of times sales guys ruin the sale by bad first impression. Just because you work for the great company, just because you have really good reviews does not mean that you're gonna get every sale. Don't get cocky, don't get arrogant, always respect the customer, treat everyone like it's your last customer. Don't assume a sale too early. Always try to earn their trust. Treat everybody with respect. That's what I've always done. For me, if you call me, I don't care how big I am, how small you are, like I don't care who is richer, me or you. You called me to do a service for you. That's the only thing that matters. So many sales guys go crazy when they arrive at expensive houses and they start thinking, oh, they have money. What they have is none of your business. Your business is your business. Your first impression, that's what's most important thing right now. And if you start thinking about money, if you start thinking about what they make or how good you are, you're just gonna ruin it. Stay humble. Communicate well. That's the second step for me. Do the best first impression you can, and I promise you it'll help you sell more jobs. Step number 3 is measure the job. Don't get lazy. For me, preparing the estimate is one of the most important things in the sales process. Whether I prepare estimate to make a video to someone, maybe you ask me for some random thing to price for you, I want to make sure I'm going to do my research. If I don't know what I'm bidding on, I will always do my research and provide the best price. I'll give you an example. On my first couple of years in business, I have a customer in downtown Minneapolis who asked me to bid on a red color roof. He gave me exact specs. It was CertainTeed barn red color, I believe. I've never installed it before, and he asked me to bid for it. When I called my supplier to get a price on that shingle, it was almost double the price of regular shingles. So regular were like $70, $80. It was 10 years ago, 2014, 2015. And this shingle was $140. So of course I had to reflect it in my estimate. So I provided him estimate and I lost the job. He told me later when I follow up with him that he went with someone else. I'm like, all right, can't get them all, right? 2 weeks later, the guy calls me back and said, Dmitry, I want to hire you. I'm like, I thought you went with someone else. And here's what he told me. He said that he went with another contractor who bid much cheaper than me, $50 less per square. So it was $2,000 less estimate. And he said later, 2 weeks later, he called him and said he underestimated the job because he did not realize or he did not know that red shingles cost much more. And if you know anything about asphalt shingles, 98% of them cost about the same. It's granules, asphalt, almost identical materials, different brands. They're all very similar. But the red pigment cost much more to produce. So red shingles, if you did not know it, always gonna cost way more than any other color. He said that the roofer called me, say, hey, I'll match other estimate, and wherever the guy is bidding on it, I'll do it for that price. And to that, homeowner said, no, you lost my trust. I'm gonna go with a contractor who bid it properly. He returned his down payment and he hired me, and I did a beautiful CertainTeed red barn roof. So think about it. First of all, if I did that mistake, I would probably aid it. I would not pass it to the homeowner. I would never ask for more because it would be my mistake. So do your research. When you measure the job, make sure you don't cut corners because it's going to cost you a lot of money. One of the subcontractors who did US Bank Stadium, it went out of business because they make very expensive mistake estimated that project. On a project of US Bank Stadium size, it will cost you the business and you will go out of business if you cannot cover your losses. So be professional. If you're the contractor, learn how to measure the job. Number 4 in my process is presenting the estimate. It's great that you can measure. It's great that you can make first impression, but actually presenting the estimate to the homeowner, explaining to them what they can expect, showing them all aspects of the project, scope of work, what will take place during the install, or whatever the questions they might have, you owe it to them. We are humans, very visual creatures. When we see something, we believe in it and we get impressed easily. So if your competition is given 1-page estimates and you giving them 10-page slideshow with how great your company is, they're going to remember you because you have attention to details. You like to answer their questions and educate them. Presentations always been huge in my business career. I don't like long presentations. I'm not there to sell. I'm there to show what I have. And when you actually have a nice solid presentation, 5, 10, 15 slides, go super quick. They want to see that you're prepared. It's not your first time you're doing it. You know what you're talking about. I'm talking about 5, 10 minutes max. But if you do that, you will impress them. And it's very, very important in any sales process. Number 5, you have to learn how to overcome objections. Objections will always be there. People are skeptical. They don't know you. Some people don't know me, even those who call me and want to consult with me. People like to be sold. People like to say that things like, I'm getting 3 estimates, or let me talk to my wife, or let me think about it. You have to practice just like you practice playing basketball before the game, just like you practice any sport before you actually play it. You cannot get better at anything if the only training you have is while you're playing that game. So if sales is your game and overcoming objections is what you do, make sure you practice it with the salespeople, someone in your office before it happens, because you know they're going to ask those questions. You know they're going to give you objections why they're not going to hire you, to which you have to be trained to overcome to actually get the sale. Step number 6, actually asking for sales. I remember first 2 years of my roofing business, I was not that guy. I was not asking for sales. Rodney Webb, actually, the one who opened my eyes. And as simple as it sounded at the time, I was not doing it. And Rodney Webb taught me this one phrase: other than price or payment, would be there any reason we couldn't start your project today? You can pick any line, you can pick any phrase that would work for you, but make sure you ask for sale. When people ask you for that estimate, when people listen to your presentation, you did the impression, you gave them a price, do not leave the house and tell them, call me, think about it, let me know when you're ready. They might be ready already. Just ask them, are you ready to make a decision right now? Are you ready to hire me? That's it. Like, it can be simple question. I don't want to put words in your mouth because we're all different. You know, we're just like in dating world. We all have our own pickup lines, but make sure you actually go for that pickup line and ask for their business. For me, that's step number 6. Today, if I do any sales presentation, if I have any conversation about the sale or product, I will always ask people, are you ready to hire me? If the answer is no, I'm not going to pressure them, but I know at least I have asked the question. And my last step in my sales process, of course, is a follow-up. I want to make sure that if I did not get the sale, I will find out why they did not hire me. I will text them, I will email them, I will DM them on social media, I will call them. If you did not hire me and I know I have a very good service for you, at least tell me what I did wrong. You have to close your system. You have to learn from your no experiences. If people are not hiring you, you want to know why. Was it the price? Was it the competition? So many times sales guys are delusional about their results and they're afraid to hear no or the reason no. You will be surprised about some of those reasons. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you. Sometimes maybe they decided to sell the house. Sometimes they went different directions. Sometimes they have change of hearts. Who knows? But if you did not ask that question, that lead gonna be aging in your CRM. You will never know the truth why you didn't sell the job. You will never improve from that experience. You will never adapt to people like them. So following up and asking people why they did not hire you is one of the most important things in business for me, because every call like that is a focus group. Why you didn't hire me? Or maybe they will hire you. Sometimes it takes 3, 4, 5 follow-ups. Before you heard no, keep calling them, keep asking. You don't want to be annoying and call them every 10 minutes. Have your own process. It could be every couple of days, depending on the industry. If you're a roofing contractor, I would call them, I don't know, every 3 days, twice a week. Just keep following up, because you need to either hear yes, we're gonna hire you, or hear no and find out why they did not hire you. So that's my sales process. Very simple, 7 steps. My job is not to be a closer. I'm not trying to, and never try to, sell every single job. On average, we will sell 40-50%. To me, it's very good. Depending on the industry, depending on what is it that you do in the media space, I might sell 80% of my jobs and requests. You can't get all the jobs, but it is important that you have a process, and it's a numbers game. I'm a firm believer in education and educated decisions. I hate pressuring people. I hate even asking for business, but in sales, you have to ask for it. Comment below what you think about my sales process. I'm also curious what kind of sales process you have in your business. I read all of my comments, and if you have a question for me, I will try to answer them in comments or in the next video. I'll see you guys in that video.